Okay, here we have the classic Floyd Rose trem. Points to look out for. Okay, well, how many springs are you going to have in the back of the guitar? In this one, I have got 3 springs, although sometimes I do the 2-spring thing, take the middle spring out and have 2 springs at an angle, which creates a slightly lighter kind of tension to the bar. But with Floyd Rose trems, if you've got 3 springs, it still keeps the resonance and the tone of the guitar, because Floyd Rose suck tone out of the wood. And the springs, you want the springs to keep the sustain going, that as the guitar resonates basically. Basically, more springs you've got, the more tone, but again, you've got more tension as you actually kind of whammy it. How to set it up is kind of, if you look at the Floyd, you want the Floyd kind of, as I'm looking down on it, it's actually sitting kind of absolutely horizontal to the body. It's not on the body because this is floating again on these 2 posts just here. So your trem should be floating. You can raise these posts up and get it floating away from the body. They must be kind of dead horizontal though. They can't have them kind of bent like that, otherwise it'll create tension as you try to kind of press the bar. So you set the height with these posts. And as I'm looking at it, it's dead kind of straight in terms of where it's lying against the body. It's not up a bit or back a bit, it's dead horizontal. So you've got equal amounts of pressure going down as coming up. So that's what you want, because as you hit kind of as you kind of whammy it, you want equal amounts of pressure above and below the pitch of the note. If it was at an angle, if it was kind of raised up like that or back like that, there'd be more pressure one way. You want it equal pressure. So it's got to sit on these posts dead horizontal. If you get tuning problems with a Floyd Rose, it could be a number of things. You could have worn lockers just there. As these get old, they create a ridge. If I was to kind of bolt this and show you, there'll be like little kind of ridges where it grips the string, and this is where they can kind of not grip anymore. If they get grooves in them, the string can actually slip through. So check that they're not worn there. What can also wear is these actual blades that are on this block. As this block sits on these posts, they've got a very sharp blade, and the blade can wear as you're kind of whammying it. It wears away, and if you get a ridge or a kind of a wear on that blade, then as you kind of dip the arm, it might not come back in tune, come back to pitch, which sends the whole 6 strings out. So check that the actual blades are not worn, the actual posts aren't worn. The good thing about all of these tremolo systems is everything is replaceable. So if anything's broken or worn on a Floyd Rose, you can walk into any guitar store or get online and just order the correct part to replace it. In terms of float and how much kind of pull up I've got on the G string, remember I said you can measure the float of a tremolo by how much you can pull up on the G string. Well, this guitar was made for me by Valley Arts, and it's actually got the body of the guitar dipped away, so within reason I can probably pull the G string up a fair way. So what's that? That's 6 frets, which is one of the cool things of having a Floyd Rose, because you can do that sort of stuff. So, and the other cool thing about Floyd Rose is, in theory, you can kind of get the strings slack to the body. One other thing to think about with the Floyd is, again, no play on the arm. Now, a Floyd usually has this little kind of this little sleeve which kind of screws in to anchor the arm so you don't get any play. See that kind of screwing in part just there? That you poke the arm in, as you know, you've probably got one, and you just kind of screw it so you can actually create the tension. You can attach the arm and create the tension. Now, I don't like any play because at volume, if there's a clunking noise, you're going to hear that in the amp. But so I can, the tighter I screw this in and attach this, the more responsive it's going to be. Also, I can put the arm anywhere I like, and it will stay just there. You know, you can get those kind of Steve Vai licks going on. But I've seen guys with Floyds, and it's kind of flapping around like that. For the stuff we're going to do, you want it just under your finger. So if you've got those points catered for, no wear on the locking nut, so there's no grooves underneath there. It's sitting horizontal to the body. There's no wear on these kind of sharp blades that are on the actual block, and there's no wear to the posts. There's no play on the arm. You can have all sorts of fun on the Floyd. They're great.